Lesson number 9 is unusual compared to the previous lessons because we are having right now a specific goal. We need to create a sales versus target dashboard, which means a one-page report with interactions, charts, that will allow us to easily filter by regions, by years, and will give us a graphical structure also to the pivot table. So this is more like a summary exercise where we can now take all of the findings from the previous lessons. We start as usually by inserting a table and then by inserting a pivot table. As you can see, my data source is different. This is just a simple table with regions, years, sales and target, based on which we create a pivot table. And the first part of this exercise is going to be just creating the sum of sales and inserting a slicer by years. This is the typical layout of a pivot table, but we can move it a bit to the right, and we can also change the formatting of this pivot table. For example, we can format the number as usually to contain only the whole numbers. We can rename the header saying this is just my sales. We can center the cell content, increase a bit the font of this measure because we want this KPI to be highlighted somehow. But what is more, we can also, for example, on this report page, turn off grid lines and add some other highlighting factors like sales with the gray fill and also small border lines around our pivot table. It doesn't look like a pivot table, but still it's based on a pivot table down there. And let's also add a same style to the slicer that will allow us to filter the data later on.